Hey everybody, I'm back. It's been a long month. I did take some time off in August to rest and recharge, and it was the best thing I could have done for myself. So today I'm back and I'm going to do a reading for you guys. Sorry that it's been so long. I have missed doing them. I actually haven't really even done any readings. Well, I shouldn't say any, but I haven't done as many readings on my own this past month. All right, so we're going to pull a card today, and this card is going to represent the current energies for whoever this reading is for. Oop, it's going to pop right out there already. Okay, so we get regeneration, and it's in the reverse, or as this book calls it, the protection mode. Why did I flip my cards? Hold on a second here. All right. So what this tells me is that there is a need for regeneration. Something has kind of died or fallen off for this person, for you, and you're in a need, you're in a place where it's ripe for regeneration. So basically what I'm seeing is that right now you have an opportunity to start fresh with what you have learned, or or lessons that you're bringing forward from something that you've just been through. There could have been a loss that you've experienced. I should focus that I intend for this reading to be about career. So this reading in particular will not be about relationships. I'm going to try to do a separate reading for career prosperity type reading, and a separate one for relationships or love. Because I do keep getting a mixed bag, and I want to be more clear when I'm putting these out there for you so that you know what they are. And I thought it would be helpful if I did one of each, because typically people have a struggle, a very specific struggle. When they come looking for tarot readings, they're looking for like some stability. They're looking for somebody to kind of get them into that high vibe state, give them a heads up as to what they might be dealing with, and I just want to be more specific. So this particular reading is about career, and particularly if you're a writer, this could have to do with your day job or your writing. We'll see what comes up. I did not get that specific when I was planning the reading. So anyway, something has fallen off. Something has basically died, and you are in a place of trying to recreate or regenerate yourself. I'm going to pull 3 more cards and see what that might be. This will be recent energies that you've been dealing with on this journey. All right, there's the 10 of inspiration. That's the 10 of wands. So that's like an overburdened energy. And in the reverse, it does indicate a need to let go of a burden. It's time to lay that burden down. And there's the 9 of wands. 9 of inspiration, and let's see, what I'm getting from my guides is not quite aligned with what that card usually means, so I just want to look at some other meanings really quickly for the 9 of wands to clarify for myself before I speak, because sometimes I don't know what they're talking about. Nine of Wands. I also am still getting used to this deck. This is the Muse Tarot, and the symbolism is quite different, although I really do love it. Okay. Okay, so this is like about standing your ground after a little bit of a butt kicking, okay? So you're feeling like, okay, I have laid that burden down. There's something that you've walked away from, something that has ended for you, and you have stood your ground. You have stood in your confidence, you've stood in your power, but you're still not quite feeling secure about it. Maybe you're not sure which way to go now, or you're not sure how to proceed and start fresh. Because sometimes when something ends, you're like, okay, well, I really was done with that, but what now? Because you don't know what comes next. There's nothing, maybe you don't have any other kind of irons in the fire, so to speak. Maybe you don't have, if this is about your writing, maybe you don't have another project to start on. If it's about a business, maybe if a business failed, maybe you don't know what else you'd like to do. And there's the page of materials. So that kind of definitely supports what I just said. The page of materials is about starting fresh with resources and money. So in terms of a prosperity reading, this is a place where you're feeling like, okay, you might be feeling a little bit of lack. You might be feeling like you don't have enough. You still got something. You know that you can make money. You know that you could earn a little bit, either from a different project. So this isn't like having nothing. A page of materials wouldn't be like it's not a feeling of being destitute or anything like that, but it's just a feeling of maybe a little bit of insecurity. Maybe you feel a little bit like a novice. I'm going to pull one more card. I want to just see if there's anything else that Spirit wants us to know about where you've been and what the situation, and if there's another situation for another person who's watching, we'll pull that out here. Anything else? Oops. No, that wasn't. That was just being clumsy. All right, and there's the 9 of Voices. So this is the 9 of Swords. And that is a sense of loss of sleep. So you've been worrying a lot about this. Again, you may not be. So this speaks to me of a lost income or a lost opportunity for income. And now you're like, okay, how am I going to make ends meet? Or how am I going to, am I going to have to go back to my job? Or am I ever going to be able to quit this job and write? Those are 2 typical worries that a lot of writers might have. You're losing sleep, you're worrying about it. So that's what this reading is going to be about. I'm going to pull some more cards. We're going to go another layer deeper on your current energies. What's flowing or difficult for you right now? Is there anything supporting you or blocking you right now? Oops. All right, we've got that. Is that the Knight? No, it's not the Knight, it's a Page. Sorry, I get confused with this deck because I'm still, I always get confused between the Knight and the Page. So again, we have the Page of Pentacles. That's the same as this card. That feeling of maybe there's not quite enough, or I don't really know if I can turn this into a job, or I'm not sure if I can make enough money doing that. And then you have this. So the Tower card speaks of sudden change. Sudden change can be a breakthrough or a breakdown. And sometimes it's how you look at it. And sometimes the breakdown is what precedes the breakthrough. So sometimes the idea that you would have to lose something before you can get something is a little bothersome for people. But I do believe there's wisdom in it. Sometimes we don't take chances because we're so busy hanging on to something. So whatever it was that fell off here before, it probably feels really, like this can be a little bit of a scary card for some people. I try to spin it in a positive way. because I do believe that there is a gift in the garbage with just about every horrible thing that we go through, or every sudden, like really disappointing or upsetting thing that we go through. I really do think that there's a gift in that, but you can't always see it right away. And some people honestly never can see it. They'll be like, I didn't get anything out of that. And that can be very, very upsetting, I guess you could say. So that's what I'm getting here is you're really just not over this, and you're kind of afraid of the fallout, or you're dealing with the fallout right now of this not enoughness, this loss and this not enoughness. But remember, the theme here is regeneration. It's a need to figure out how we can grow again when we've lost something. Some more current energies. All right, it's a waiting. Or more, actually, I shouldn't say waiting. That's more of a feeling ready energy. You're not feeling ready. It's in reverse. You're not feeling it. You were not ready for this, and you're trying to get in the space of feeling ready for whatever you're gonna do next. I'm just losing lots of sleep over it. Okay. Hierophant. All right. All right. There's an energy here of having lost something else. Like maybe you don't have a boss anymore. Maybe this can represent like institutions. This can represent a bunch of things. What's coming to mind is institutions, that kind of energy of being led by someone else, and you kind of giving them the power over you. So if this is about a lost job, what I'm seeing here is that the bright side may be that, okay, I don't have a boss anymore. I don't have somebody kind of deciding what I'm going to do with my day. So sometimes when we have a bunch of freedom all of a sudden, it can be a little kind of earth shattering. Like you're like, oh no, I didn't, I wanted this. I kind of wanted this chance to focus on my writing, but I didn't want it this way, So you don't have the boss anymore on the bright side, but you also don't have the boss anymore on the oh no side. So this is like this is what you're trying to get right with, and this is what's trying to be reborn in you. Are there any more? Okay, so let's talk about strengths, because I feel like this is very focused on kind of negatives. This feels a little clenched up and scared, and I would like to look at some of the positives. Spirit, what do you have for us in terms of positives? Because there's always strengths that you bring to the table. Sometimes you can't see how those strengths will pull you through. So is there any hidden strength here? Okay, I love how that's the 5 of Pentacles card. The that is the destitute card when it's right side up, but it came out. Okay, so I don't think you really believe that you're going to lose everything. I think you understand that this might be more about like scrimping and saving a little bit, okay? But you might know how to do that really well. You might be good at it. And the bright side of scrimping and saving is having a logical budget that you can live within. Some people really hate doing that, and some people really find their power in, okay, I know how to do this. I can work on a budget. Ooh, okay, we're getting all kinds falling out here. I'm going to take them. Okay, This is about like a hidden strength within you. You have a lot of fortitude, and again, this card can be about general, like, kind of the cleaning up after a fight is sometimes how it's looked at, and sometimes it's looked at like sneaking away. But what I'm seeing there is that you are really good. So he's got these 5 swords. He knows what's important to him. He's leaving these behind. This person really knows what's important to them, and they might not be happy about it, but they know exactly what to prioritize. They know what's going to get them through. Okay, so it's kind of like that card. And this is the inner strength. Strength card shows a person who's, you know, taming the lion. You have this inner strength, and when you decide to do something, you mean it. One more. Okay, this is the Independence card, and I really like this because in the reverse, what it's saying to me is that you know how to ask for help, okay? You can be an independent person. You know how to take care of yourself, but you also know when to ask for help. You know when it's necessary to call in reinforcements, and you are not the type of person who is gonna sit with this sad situation kind of all alone. You're gonna be able to get right to work. Networking, you probably have a pretty good network, and if you don't have a lot of connections in the new thing that you're going to be doing, you are certainly capable of finding them and making things happen. I see this whole thing about figuring out what's important and moving toward that, making the shift to take care of yourself by tuning into what's really important to you. All right. So let's pull some guidance cards. What do you need to release, work through to get through this? What do you need to release? Okay, hardship. Got to release the idea that this is such a hardship. When I say release it, I don't mean that it's not a hardship. I don't mean that at all. What I mean is that you have to release your attachment to the idea that this is going to be a hardship. So sometimes we can spend more time worrying about our hardships. We get really attached to them, and we start identifying with them. And that's what you don't want to do. You want to release your need to attach to this time of your experience as a hardship. I'm going to pull another one because there was quite a lot here. And I'm going to make sure I get something that resonates for everybody who watches. Surrender to direction. Okay, so this is about surrendering to the need for some guidance. And whether your guidance is going to come in the form of people who are helpers, which it often will, or whether that's going to come through some divine direction, then I want you to know that direction doesn't all have to come from like overthinking and over planning and being in activity overdrive. We have to pay attention sometimes to the subtle direction that we are given in our lives by people who care about us and people who show up on our path as like lights, as lanterns in the dark. I'm going to pull one more because I'm liking where this is going. Oh, surrender to relationship. This speaks again about this. I think this card is kind of talking about, well, it's very pink, and we can tend to go toward thinking that that's about a love relationship, and maybe it is. Maybe you have a partner who's very supportive of you and who is going to help you through this. But if you don't have a partner, or if that's not the situation, I think what this is really saying, again, is what I got from here about surrendering to the fact that you are not alone. Sometimes when we're going through things, it can really feel like we're alone because you're like, Nobody's here with me. Nobody's going through this with me. Nobody knows. I don't talk about it. People aren't helpful. They don't say what I want to hear. When we surrender to the idea that we are part of a network and that there are relationships out there that can help us through things, we just have to kind of plug in and listen with our hearts a little bit about about who cares, who really actually cares about us, and who can help guide us, point us, orient us in the right direction. All right, I'm gonna pull one of these cards. After we release, we rise, right? So what's going to help you rise above this situation? This is a card to reflect on, to take some optimism from. And this idea that we are part of the world. We are in this world, but we are not of it. It's kind of an interesting one. I want to read to you what the book says about this because my words aren't coming to me right now. Okay, it's safe for you to become naked with life. This doesn't necessarily mean stripping off and running wild in public, but it does mean stripping back your beliefs, your strongholds, mentality, emotional security blankets so that you can live with less obstruction than ever. Imagine the conditioning that has kept life away from you, just kept it dropping out of your hands like keys, coins, or clocks. Conditioned beliefs about money, time, security, having, locking away, holding, and controlling can be surrendered and allowed to fall away. What would it be like to feel as though you were on holiday every day? Perhaps there would be softening in your way of life, an implicit trust in its flow, and a faith in the ability of time to bend and stretch as needed. So what this is really about is about living in the flow with what life is offering you in this moment, trying not to get caught up in the hardship. Remembering that you are not just a cog in a machine. You're not just there in this world to follow orders and make money and pay your bills and die. That we're here to do more than that. We're here to really experience life. And so this is about accepting this challenge to live your life in a different way than maybe you thought was possible before. Opening yourself up to other possibilities, other ways of thinking. Okay? And then I'm going to pull one prosperity card. This is an affirmation for you that you can write down if you want. Here we go. There it is. I'm already what I want to become one day. You don't have to strive and try to become something new. You don't have to strive to regenerate any more than, a plant that has suffered a little bit of a setback. It grows a new limb, right? A tree will grow new limbs when you cut a limb off. A plant, when you cut one of the little suckers off, will grow a new vine. And we need to remember that when one opportunity for us is cut off, then another one is going to come and take its place. All we have to do is allow it. Don't stand in the way of it by getting locked down in grief, worry, and sorrow about what you've lost. Focus on the fact that regrowth and regeneration is inevitable as long as we relax into who we really are. Okay, so I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope the reading was helpful to you. And if you liked the reading, I would love it if you would like it and subscribe. See you guys later. I'll be back with a relationship reading. Thanks. Bye.